喂喂喂。
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is truly an honor and pleasure to invite you to the Smart City and Green Technologies Forum. The main forum has not ended yet, and it is possible that there will be a slight delay regarding the beginning time of our Smart City and Green Technologies Forum. It is possible that we would go through a delay of 10 minutes or more. We have prepared refreshments for you outside the room, and we're also preparing a short clip for you. For our friends online in India, please remain online in order to ensure the stability of the connection. We will be preparing a short clip for you shortly.
喂，喂，宽姐，现在是什么情况？那我要请的，好，那我请大家入座了。OK， 好，OK， 好。各位贵宾您。
Distinguished guests, the Smart City and Green Technologies Forum will begin in 5 minutes. We have received information that the main forum has just ended, and we expect this forum to begin between 3:18 to 3:25 Taiwan time. Thank you very much. Distinguished guests, I'd like to apologize on behalf of the organizer once again for the delay. I would like to check if our distinguished guests from India are already online. Once again, I'd like to thank you all for participating in this forum. Can we please check if our guests from in India are already online or not?
我以为说突然麦克风，那你看现在先不用，现在都应该都还好。现在是我是主持，他们都上线了吗？都上线了吗？ 这个要先 off。现在在现场的贵宾们哦，请你们把你们的刚刚，因为主任堂其实现在还在持续啦。那
Right, the main forum actually is still ongoing, but in order to not keep everyone waiting, we will be beginning the sub-forum. So we are now currently confirming whether all our guests and participants in India are already online for the sub-forum. And if we have everyone online, then we can begin. Please give us a few minutes.
应该那个 channel 要不要做 testing？ 那个他们说那个翻译的频道。
We're now testing the interpretation signals. This is the English channel. If you're listening, if you're hearing me, this is the English channel.
OK， 1号是什么channel？ 1号是中文，我们就努力听。我自己也听了8年哦，还是要很努力的听。
This is the English channel. This is the interpreter testing.
Thank you for your time. So now I just wanted to check whether Mr. KD is online. So then we start immediately. Thank you.
Hello, KD. Yeah, can you join to another webinar to our group?
If 他们如果用中文讲那个对方。 那个你的老板，他刚先离开，所以是，好那，只剩 K D。
KD 上线了。OK。
那他们是谁在这？
可以帮我问一下现
在现在现场可能就先。
Here we are showing the bios of our speakers on the screen, and we will be beginning shortly. Please allow us to go through the final confirmation. All right, are we all set? All right, please return to the first page.
Hello, good afternoon to you all. On behalf of Taiwan China Productivity Center, my name is Li Quan, the project manager for the India-Taiwan Industrial Collaboration. It's my great honor to be here with all of you. We'd like to also welcome our Indian important leaders from their government, our counterpart, under the Asian Productivity Organization with 21 members today in Asia region. And India is one of the most very important market in today's to meet up the challenges on the climate change and also the industrial development. We are so honored to collaborate with National Productivity Center together to invite both sides from the industrial associations and industry leaders. So we are really honored to host this event to address the challenge of the climate change, also to address the challenge of the pandemic, how we have the recovery strategic plans to meet up all the economic development, especially for this bilateral public-private partnership. Together, we can stimulate all the good ideas and all of the dedications to take substantial actions for the greener tomorrow. And today, we also like to congratulate the good success during the past 4 years of this summit. We enjoy the great success from the wastewater treatment, also the AIoT control. We thank all the bilateral leaders from India, also from Taiwan. And for earlier, before this session on the summit, we congratulate 2 major MOU launched today. This is the very important milestone between Taiwan and India. We said that only the strategic actions together on the smart green technologies that can ensure all the needed technologies enabling the adoption in India, also to continuously to boost the research development. Last, we invite all of you to share your knowledge, expertise, and also more important, to continue to support for this bilateral collaboration. To start with this forum, first, I'd like to invite our driving force from our Industrial Development Bureau under the Ministry of Economic Affairs, the Deputy Director of the Sustainable Development Bureau, Dr. Chen Liangdong, to be on the stage to deliver his welcome remarks for all. Not only in this room, we have more than 30 of the industry leaders from smart green technologies in Taiwan, Hyatt Hotel in this venue. We also thank for the participants in India, also on the YouTube. Thank you. So now give a big hand to Dr. Chen to be on the stage. Thank you.
National Productivity Council, New Delhi Regional Director, Mr. K.D. Bajarwala, Indian Leather Industry Foundation, Federal of Industrial Chamber of Commerce and Industry, South India Tanner and Dealers Association, Institute for Information Industry, Dr. Wang Guomin, Chief Consultant, China Productivity Center, Mr. Chen Hongru, Chairman, Taiwan Environmental Manufacturer Association, Gold Star members, industries leaders, distinguished guests and friends from Taiwan, India, and in front of the screen, good afternoon. On behalf of the Industrial Development Bureau, I would like to extend my warmest welcome to everyone attending this forum in person or online. The current pandemic has indeed changed the lives of many and also forced us to shrink the scale of the 4th Taiwan-India Summit. But we are all coming together to fight this threat. With continued support from parties in both Taiwan and India, I believe it is during trying time like this that make the significance of this meeting especially surrounding. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Institute for Information Industry and the CPC for organizing this conference and for providing a venue to share successful cases on cooperation between Taiwan and India in smart cities and green technologies. we will be hearing about the projects based on the work of government agencies, trade associations, and the local companies that exemplify sustainable development and serve as valuable example going forward. After the establishment of the Center of Excellence on Green Productivity, we also call APO-COE on GP, in 2013, our Green Technical Service team to India had numerous discussions, site visits, demonstration projects, and pilot studies starting from 2014 to promote communications at the policy level and facilitate the transfer of Taiwan's advanced green technology. Exchange have been very frequent over the past 7 years and never abate even during the pandemic. When air travel was banned, MPC invited the CPC to co-host the online seminars covering topics ranging from green tech, AIoT, environmentally friendly plastics, smart water management, green energy, to bioagriculture innovations. This is how we create new opportunities and stand out from the crowd. We strengthened our bond during times of distress with the aid of modern technology and proved that when the going gets tough, we get tougher by working together. I would also like to thank our friends in India for having confidence in Taiwan's ability to provide high-quality integration, technology, and equipment at competitive prices. Among the two MOUs signed in the summit earlier, the G-Start industry chain co-creation ecosystem saw participation over 20 businesses, entity with expertise spanning across energy efficiency, resource recycling, and smart application, by building up the level of trust that we already have. A sound foundation for more business and trade can be forced. We look forward to Taiwan and Indian business making the best use of the platform. We will also be hearing from the Green Technical Service team to India today. Please feel free to offer feedback and suggestions for the team to further improve its services. This forum is the perfect environment for Taiwan and the Indian green tech companies to engage and discuss possible endeavors. I wish the forum a great success and health and prosperity to everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Chen. Now, I'd like to invite our partner. It's really very strong of the family bond under the Asian Productivity Organization. I'd like to invite the NPO Regional Director from India, Mr. Bhardwaj. Katie, please kindly deliver your welcome remarks. Thank you.
This year we got a break because we could not physically meet actually. so very soon, Taiwan business will start again visiting India. And of course, Indian business community will also get a chance to go to Taiwan and see the best practices under this collaborative platform. This will definitely help Indian SMEs, especially to achieve energy efficiency, to improve waste treatment, towards moving zero liquid discharge. There are very good technologies at affordable rates available for Taiwan. They have been ahead of us in the area of green technologies. It's very kind of them that they are able to share these technologies through this platform, Center of Excellence in Green Productivity. And I am very thankful to all Taiwanese counterparts, all Indian business counterparts, and all the organizations who are involved in this. NPC is right there with you to support in this initiative, and we will do our best to bring in Taiwanese best practices to India and to learn from there. I once again thank the China Product Center and APO and all the counterparts to support this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we really thankful to the NPC during the past 4 years to leverage all the supports from their government and industry leaders. We're really looking forward for the strengthening collaboration between these two countries. And now, I'd like to invite the Managing Director of China Productivity Center. He is also the Chief Consultant to lead us, also to serve for our government and industry leaders for sustainable growth. Let's welcome Dr. Wang to deliver his welcome remarks. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I try to use English. I hope my English can be understood by both India and the Taiwan side. Because I have a long time not speak English. Okay. First of all, I would like to thank to NPC New Delhi Regional Director, Mr. K. Bhardwaj, and Industrial Development Bureau Deputy Director, Dr. Chen Liangdong, and many guests. Let me see. Distinguished leaders from the India Leather Industry Foundation. Also, the CEPT Society, SITDA, FICCI, and honorable industrial leaders from India, NITCON, SB, Package, Renite, and Susan Tech, and Taiwan public sector high leaders, as well as APO, COEGP platforms, smart green technology experts. So we have so many guests to join this forum. Okay, I would like to start by welcoming all the distinguished guests to join to participate this forum. India and the Republic of China are the founding members of Asia Productivity Organization 60 years ago. Now, APO has 21 member countries. So the NPC is the significant family to the CPC as we work closely in partnership to realize the mission and the vision for shared goals. With the support of Taiwan cross-governmental agencies and the APO, we launched the APO COE GP in 2013 to promote close cooperation and sharing of policies among APO member countries for strengthening green productivity of each other to make contribution to sustainable social economy development. Our special thanks go for MPC to leveraging the excellent support from public and the private sector in India. Our special thanks to India for the support and the support for the green productivity movement since 2014. We are grateful for the joint efforts on 7 demonstration collaborative projects successfully accomplished in India on tackling green industrial development, on resource recycling, and energy efficiency. It has encouraged APO COE GP to advance a closer and a scale-up collaborate mechanism. In view of the pressing challenges of climate change and the response to Taiwan southbound policy, also to meet up the regulation and the industrial development in India, we thank all of the visionary leaders to develop best efforts in deployed collaborative demonstration projects through technical service and capability building to promote innovative and the best practice on zero liquid discharge, ZLD, for wastewater treatment, and adapting the IoT smart solution for the sustainable industrial excellence. We are especially thankful for the MPC and the ILIFO continuously support on strengthening the partnership to scale up the smart water and green AIoT cooperation, especially to encourage business model for engineering best practice since this year. The dramatic spread of COVID-19 has disrupted economy all of the world. It has created and unprecedented challenges with very severe society, economy, crisis, and recession. In response to this global outbreak, we are committed and very honored to strengthen collaboration with India for launch the Taiwan 2020 strategies, technology, advocacy for resilient tomorrow. G-START. Creation ecosystem in order to limit disruptions to values chain. Economic and energy capacity building tomorrow. As always, our sincere appreciation toward all of the leaders to join hand in hand, co-creation for leveraging resource resilient in deployed G-STAR. In order to accelerate smart green technology innovation opportunities and enable ecosystem practices that will contribute into green economy. We all warmly to invite bilateral government and industrial devoted visionary leaders to continuously reinforce commitment and strategy action for maximizing valuable eco-creation through smart green technology innovation, including wastewater treatment and pollution control, eco-plastic, energy efficiency, and the AIoT smart manufacturing. Together, we can make greater contribution on enhancing resource resilient and facilitating APO COE-GP platform for the greener tomorrow. Okay, finally, I wish this forum a great success. Let us look forward to the valuable inspiration and exchange with all of you as to build greater consensus and scale up collaborative on G-STAR co-creation system for green sustainable growth. Wishing you all good success, good health, and prosperity. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wang. Dr. Wang is really a thought-provoking leader. Since the day we joined, especially our team, joined the APO Dr. Wang has been helping with our team to collaborate with all the member countries and enjoy a very good success. Thank you, Dr. Wang. And now we come to the photo session. We particularly would extend our sincere appreciation for today's industry leaders. Total, we have more than, I think, about 30 group photo here. So now we'd like to invite you to come forward for the group photo. And we also invite the Indian delegate to remain on the stage because we like to have this important milestone to take a photo and continue our dedication for a greener tomorrow. 现在呢，因为我们想说要把第一排椅子往后转，所以请第一排的哈。
We'll now be making some arrangements of the seating in the forum. We'll have to remove the first row of seats. So once again, I'll invite all the participants here in this room to come forward for a group photo. We'll also be putting this photo in the 5-minute APO meeting record. So I believe this will further cement and serve as a auspicious beginning for further cooperation between Taiwan and India. I would like to invite our friends in the room to come forward. Please.
All of your patients. 然后现在请大家赶快走到后面来，赶快拍个照，因为时间蛮紧凑的。好，谢谢。Yeah, we also appreciate the patience from our Indian partners to remain on the stage. So ready? Please make yourself. Yeah, 都看得到。商品两百。等一下。对不起，因为我一个伙伴，因为印度的都是开疆辟土哦，我很感谢我们朱芳婷小姐。OK， 好，谢谢 ，Thank you， 谢谢。那个荧幕请先落下来。嘿，对，我们马上就要进入下一个 session 了。
We'll be proceeding with the sub-forum shortly. Please take a seat. And we'll be lowering the screen.
Our presentation session for today. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate the good success between Taiwan and India. It was started from the year 2017. We invited our leader from the Taiwan TEMA Association, the India for the India region, Mr. Franklin, to visit India, conduct the on-site diagnosis, also to have the technical exchange under the leadership of Elite for Indian Leader Industry Foundation. It's a government organization also to leverage all the dedicated leaders in Indian CETP. We say that if you can tackle the most challenging industrial park in leather industry through only tannery, you can enable all the best practice on the water treatment, also including the AIoT. So now I'd like to invite the Executive Director from the Elite for, Dr. Emmanuel, who is really the visionary leader in this area. He boosts all the development in India, particularly in today, we are tackling the water crisis, and with the dedication of their team, also from Taiwan, hand in hand. Let's now welcome Dr. Emmanuel to share his view and to encourage all of us for the greater success for tomorrow. Thank you. Dr. Emmanuel, please. Thank you.
friends from Taiwan for giving us this opportunity to meet us once again. Now, Dr. Wang was already mentioned about our collaboration with respect to zero liquid discharge and other environmental initiatives. Now, before I start, I would like to mention why our collaboration was so big success. A collaboration between two countries works best when one country is technologically more advanced, maybe smaller, and the other country is a bigger one with higher market collaboration. In case of Taiwan and India, this is a perfect match. Taiwan is quite a technically advanced country, and India is a much bigger country with a much bigger market, only second to China. I believe about $700 billion is the market share of India. So this collaboration has got immense potential, and zero liquid discharge, which we are talking today, is one of the major collaborations. Can we have the next slide, please? Now, if you could see the background of IDIFO, as Lee Kuan already mentioned, it's a not-for-profit company created by the industry, and it assisted about 16 common effluent treatment plants and 42 ETPs in the other sector, 16 ETPs and CETPs in other industries, 56 ZLD projects. And we have promoted about $300 billion investment so far. And infrastructure support, we promoted about $350 investment. IDIFO also promotes the renewable energy for thermal and electrical energy. And we trained about 2,500 people till now. It's not a small number, I believe. And the cooperation with the CTC started in 2016. Thereafter, we had many bilateral conference, training workshops and webinars. And we had an MOU with IIT from Taiwan. It's used to be very useful for both our countries. And the cooperation is in progress with encouraging results. Now, can we have the next slide, please? To understand what is zero liquid discharge, it means there is no wastewater should be discharged. In the beginning, it was considered as impossible by most of the experts. Somehow, through trial and error, we were able to do that. It starts with the conventional treatment, and then a polishing treatment to make the wastewater fit for reverse osmosis, and then 2 or 3 stages of reverse osmosis and evaporation of the RO reject. Now the recovered water is sent back to the industry. The evaporated salt is discharged separately, and the technology we used was indigenous. Equipments were all imported, and the critical issues we managed was changing characteristic of wastewater during the project, and the high fouling of membranes, and scaling of evaporator, etc. So far, we got about 6 common effluent treatment plants catering to about 600 units operating for the last 10 years. And there is no discharge of wastewater. It is working quite well. Around 5 million liters of wastewater is purified and recovered every day. And about 40,000 tons of salt has been recovered so far. Can we have the next slide, please? Now, what are the advantages and disadvantages of this technology? The advantages are it is recovering almost all water, and the recovered water is good in quality. There is no pollution at all whatsoever, and there is full legal compliance, better image of the industry with the buyers and public. The disadvantage is very high installation cost about 3 to 4 times. And there is very high operating cost compared to the conventional treatment, about 10 times of the conventional treatment. And disposal of the salt is a problem. And the technology is very sophisticated. Next slide, please. And this is one of the picture of the multiple stage evaporator, which is a part of the ZLD. Next slide, please. This is the overall look of one of the zero liquid discharge plant. You would see it hardly looks like a wastewater plant. It is a more or like an industry in itself. Next slides. Now I am just giving you this one to show you the pictures. The left side picture is the land how it was some 15 years back. And the right side pictures are how it looks like today. You could see a lot of changes happened because of this technology. Next slide, please. And the pilot studies we had with ITRI, you could see the pictures. At present, the technologies such as MBR, BioNet, and EDR is being tested. MBR with the submerged PVDF membrane was tried, and the result is more or less same with other MBRs working in the tannery industry. BioNet was a very big success. We could remove about 80% of ammonia nitrogen from the treated wastewater. And EDR is also very encouraging result, and further studies are ongoing. And ITES, as Dr. Chang mentioned, we are using it for the control of the ETP. And training of ETP personnel too is done with the collaboration from CPC and ITRI with the CETPs in India. And there are other pilot technologies planned, including forward osmosis, recyclable membrane cleaning, etc., are being done. Next slide, please. Now, what are the new opportunities? One opportunity is to make a current situation audit, making a thorough assessment, and then identifying the specific issues where it can be improved further, and specific issues related to tannery and to control it at the source, and then other proven green technologies which can be cheaper and more sustainable. And we can always go for new technologies, which is being investigated by organizations such as ITRI, and use it here. Can we have the next slide, please? Now, what is the way forward? We in ILIFO is very keen to continue the collaboration and deepen with the, now from the pilot scale to the plant scale implementation. And the selected CETPs are quite willing to extend their full cooperation, and the discussions are ongoing. And one good thing has happened is we have got a company called Sirson Technologies now has started representing the technology transfer from Taiwan. Anyway, Dr. Chandini is presenting her role there, and we are very happy to note that now there is an organization to take it forward. And we can also have an agreement between ILIFO, CPC, and ITRI to carry forward this result further. And of course, there can be periodic exchange of technical developments and other mutual collaborations. Next slide, please. And let me thank you once again for providing us this opportunity and also providing us with the technologies which we would have been finding it very difficult to develop with our own resources. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Emmanuel. we really very proud of the good success during last 4 years. Not only with the effort from our Indian side, EDFO, also the Ranitech, CTPs, and also certain technologies. Particularly, I would like to mention, we appreciate the effort from ITRI, also together with TEMA, Mr. Franklin, and also their chairman, Mr. Gao, and their present chairman, Mr. Chen, also their members. Together, through the Taiwan China Productivity Center and the ITRI, we link to Taiwan for all the industry leaders. Together, we are ready for participating the Indian growth. Thank you. And then I also, the next, I'd like to invite the private sector from India. It's very important, we said, the value chain of the industry collaboration is started from the government initiative for the India, also for Ministry of Economic Affairs in Taiwan, IDB 工业局. It's also very important to have the support from the association, TEMA, ITRI, and also from the private sector to participate. And in this room, we have Aventech, also some the environmental equipment facilities company. We all rely on all of this, we call it integrated engineering service. But more important, we rely on India partner, their government, industry leaders, also from the private sector. Now I'd like to invite Cerson Technology. This is a company based in Chennai, industrial, very important industrial park, industrial state. We enjoyed the good collaboration with Cerson Technologies since the last 4 years. Now, today, we invite Dr. Roland to share how her experience and how her driving force for enabling the business scale collaboration with Taiwan in India. Now, let's welcome Dr. Roland to conduct the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon to all of you present in Taiwan, all members of the CPC, ITRI. I can see Dr. Liang and Dr. Zhuang also there. And thank you to Ms. Li Quan for organizing this session and inviting me to speak here as well. So thank you, everybody. Today, I just wanted to quickly, Ms. Li Quan asked me to speak about, the pilot scale plants that have been running in Ranitech CETP through the collaboration with ILIFO, Ranitech, and CPC. And the potential of the technologies which have been developed at the Water Division in India. So thank you all. So I'm Dr. Chandni Ralan, and I am the CEO and founder of Cerson Technologies. Thank you. The next slide, please. So just a quick introduction. Cerson Technologies, we have a technical collaboration with the Water Division at ITRI Taiwan. And along with them, we offer the following services: technical consultancy on projects, detailed engineering drawings, carrier materials for biological systems, startup and commissioning of new systems, O&M assistance, and performance guarantees and warranties. And this is, of course, for the systems that have been developed and designed by the team at ITRI, the Water Division team. Next slide, please. So just a brief introduction in the current scenario of CETPs in India. We have a whole range of CETPs, as you can see, as a statewide breakdown. You can see Andhra Pradesh has 11, Delhi alone has 13, and these are just the CETPs catering to mainly industries, not your other treatment for sewage. You have Maharashtra 27, and of course Tamil Nadu has the highest with 49 CETPs. It's because it's got such a large concentration of industries, and of course with the new electronics industries coming in, this is most likely to go up as well as new industries get established over the next few years. Next slide, please. And this is just a general overview breakdown of all the different wastewaters generated from the different sectors. You can see tannery has the highest generation with 58%, distillery 35%. Again, this distillery is most likely to go up as well because there are more distilleries coming up in the states of Karnataka and Goa as well. As a lot of investment coming in that space. Pulp and paper at 9%, food at 3%. Again, this is likely to go up as well. Textile at 8%. Next slide, please. And this is just a general breakdown of what your common effluent treatment plant is. It's just to give you an overview. You have your general treatment, you have your sedimentation tank, you have a primary, secondary treatment, softener, followed by your UF and RO, followed by your evaporator stage. And this is for a ZLD, and this evaporator is what helps most CETPs achieve their ZLD. So particularly in the state of Tamil Nadu, where it is strictly mandated that all industries have to follow ZLD. So all textile, tanning, all industries operate under ZLD. Currently, around the Ganges regions, they're upgrading towards ZLD. You have ZLD facilities coming up in Kanpur today. In Gujarat, ZLD is not mandatory, but they're supposed to reach a certain standard. Only if they're located along the coast and they maintain a certain level, they're allowed to discharge into the sea. So, but there's a statewide, there's a difference in discharge standards, but most states are striving towards ZLD, and it is expected that in the next 5 years that ZLD will be mandated across pan-India. Next slide, please. Okay, so this slide, I just want to draw your attention to. So this is a breakdown of your operating cost for a CETP, for a 1 MLD plant. So 1,000 cubic meter day plant. And this data is obtained from ILIFO. Now, as you can see, the power, so first for a general CETP not having ZLD, so if you remember the diagram I showed, it doesn't have your final stage of evaporator. Your power, this is in INR, so your power consumption of about 14,000 rupees. You have your manpower cost, chemical cost, all running quite high. And even during the lockdown, which India was in from March to June under a very strict lockdown due to the pandemic, the power consumption was still on the higher side for power consumption, manpower, which was very challenging, and monitoring costs and your maintenance. Now let's look over at this next graph for cost of a ZLD plant. And if you look at the power consumption for a 1 MLD plant per day is near enough 1,20,000. It's very high. It's nearly $10 a meter cube per day, $10 US. And as you can see, the manpower is much higher. Your chemical consumption, fuel costs, maintenance, all very high. And in the next, over here, the next chart graph next to it, even during lockdown, the cost was very high because some of the units still had to operate. There was still a requirement of manpower to maintain some of the units. And there was still some maintenance issue, which has really hit a lot of CETPs very hard because especially with the shutdown of industry, slowing down of the economy, to sustain the CETPs and to especially to keep on top of all that O&M has been quite a bit of a challenge, and is still continuing to be a challenge. In fact, it's gone so far to threaten the existence of certain CETPs and even certain industries as they're not able to afford the OPEX anymore. Next slide, please. So just a quick introduction on the water systems that we're promoting. I'll just talk about it briefly. If you'd like to know more, you have Dr. Liang and Dr. Zhuang present in the audience there who will give you a much more detailed explanation. But this is the excellent BioNet system, which Dr. Emmanuel also mentioned, that's been developed by the Water Division at ET Taiwan. These are the wonderful porous carriers, high surface area, and they have worked very well for the pilot plant trials for the removal of ammonia and dissolved organics. Next slide, please. So the BioNet system, great. It has high oxygen, great biomass concentration, short hydraulic retention time, and most important, the best number, which all the industries like, it's got a very simple operation and maintenance and a very low OPEX, keeping everybody in the wastewater treatment industry quite happy. And the BioNet would, in effect, come around after your secondary treatment as a water polishing treatment, and reducing your ammonium, your residual organics, and also improving the water quality and improving the water quality downstream, so thereby improving your life of your membranes as you go down. So for your UF, your RO, ultrafiltration, your reverse osmosis membranes, and also improving the OPEX of that system as the lifetime of those membranes would increase. Next slide, please. Another technology of eTrees that we are promoting is the electrodialysis reversal. This is again under pilot plant trial at the CETP in Tamil Nadu. It's given excellent results, and it's used traditionally for desalination. It's reclamation of cooling tower water, desalination of salty groundwater. Next slide, please. But what is very interesting on the EDR system, under Dr. Liang's leadership and also under Dr. Emmanuel, what they suggested was we would try the EDR for concentration of the RO reject. So in fact, we've tried it out at Ranitech CETP, where we were able to concentrate the DTRO reject, which is the harshest reject really produced in industries, and it has produced very, very interesting results, very excellent, and it is being considered for a potential scale-up as well. And this EDR would prove to be excellent in helping to reduce the OPEX going for the CETPs, because what the EDR would do is it would reduce the volume of your DTRO reject that is being generated before it goes into the evaporator. Now, if you remember from the earlier slide that I shared, the biggest cost pain pinching point for all CETPs trying to achieve ZLD is the power consumption, and the biggest drawer of the power consumption is this evaporator. Now, what we are showing with the EDR is we can reduce this power consumption for your evaporator by reducing the volume going in to the evaporator, and this is actually being shown by all the studies happening at the CETP here. Next slide, please. So this is a slide which I think which catch the attention of many of you present there, and also for all our CETPs in India as well, is if you look at all the OPEX cost. So if you look at your initial treatment, you have a yearly OPEX of nearly 1 crore. This is all in INR. For your UFRO, around 1 crore. And then your evaporators, of course, the biggest consumer. You have an overall yearly OPEX of 4.5 crores, which is $600,000 US, which is very, very high. And what we are showing with eTrees technologies, that if we bring in the BioNet system, we would still have an OPEX, which would be much lower though, which as a case study. If we bring in the EDR system, it would still draw an OPEX, but the evaporator OPEX drops by nearly half, and the overall OPEX reduces to 3 crores, which reduces by nearly $200,000 US. And this is taking into fact that with the introduction of these new systems, yes, there will be additional O&M, there will be additional chemicals used, power used, but the quality of water generated will be on the much higher side. Your lifetime of your existing equipment for your UF and your RO system is going to go up. And because of the introduction of your BioNet and also your evaporator. Okay, I've just got a gentle reminder, so I'm quickly going to hurry up. Next slide, please. Okay, so quickly again, this is the Q water system developed by eTree, which we are also promoting in India. It's a decentralized drinking water system. Tremendous potential for rural areas, township developments, industrial parks who require drinking water supply but are not able to access it because of their distance located from the cities, and they need to, and also the lower capex required for getting access to quick drinking water. Very compact system as well, and this is another technology that we are currently promoting and is showing a lot of demand in India right now. Next slide, please. We can actually go to the next slide as well. Okay, so this is another slide which Mr. Jackie Chang, who's also present, who's also heading, will talk to you more about this, is the AIoT Smart Water Solutions, which has also been developed with E3 Water Division. And if you remember from the graph, there was a big demand during the impact of COVID. One of the biggest impacts was during the lockdown was this lack of manpower and the lack of ability to for people to be available on site to maintain equipment, to operate the equipment, and this proved to be a big challenge. And this has resulted in a lot of damage to your membranes, to your evaporator tubes. MLSS levels escalated. The entire operations went out of sync, and has also driven the cost very high because there was a sudden shutdown. There's been a sudden startup. It was a bit chaotic. However, if the same thing was operated under, if they had IoT, more than IoT, if they had intelligent operation systems which could be remotely operated, which were able to reduce any chances of human error, the same impacts which were faced due to the pandemic could have been avoided, which is why the wastewater treatment industry is now realizing that yes, they have to also shift to an industry 3.0 by adopting IoT, but they need to also quickly make a transition to industry 4.0 and making all their systems intelligent to reduce energy consumption, chances of human error, and also the most important thing, overall OPEX. One of the biggest challenges of the wastewater industry is the reducing of OPEX. They all have excellent treatment systems. They all have the top of the best technologies, but they still suffer from a high OPEX, which challenges the existence of many industries. And so what we are doing in conjunction with E3 Taiwan, the Water Division, is to promote their technologies and show how, with the adoption of these technologies, their OPEX can come down drastically and their overall operations can improve. Next slide, please. So to quickly summarize, thank you very much. Thank you to all of you present there. Thank you. We did a series of webinars with the Water Division at E3, and they showcase their technologies. If you'd like to know more, please visit our YouTube channel, follow us on LinkedIn if you would like to know more updates, or please reach out to me if you would like to know more about the technologies that we are promoting in India through our technical collaboration. Thank you very much. Thank you again, Ms. Lee Kwan, for giving me this opportunity to speak today. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Roland. We really appreciate her dedication for this collaboration into a better progress and a substantial outcome. And now, I also like to invite Advantech Senior Manager from the AIoT department, Mr. Jackie Chang. He joined this APO mission to India since the year 2018, and then we rely on his their company has been dedicated in co-creation also. We congratulate him for today on behalf of this G-Start MOU signing party. Also have the TM Robotic and also TEMA, and today now we invite Mr. Jackie Chang to deliver his presentation. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jackie Chang, come from Advantech. Today, I'm happy to share with you one option towards successful digital transformation through co-creation. Digital transformation with a software application, cloud service platform, domain knowledge to approach different vertical markets, includes the smart AIoT, green technology, long-term co-creation business model. And we are honored and grateful for the excellent collaboration between the NPC and CPC to facilitate APO COE-GP platform since 2014. With support from the Taiwan and the India side, NPC, ED4, Running Tech also research all the CETP members together with the Taiwan company, CPC, E3, Advantech, and the Taiwan company. We would like to see the India continue support on the on-scale smart green technology co-creation collaboration. We are keep the practice and the great growth of the India economy and together to scale up the benefit of the smart technology for the social economy. We hope that the India will take full advantage of the Taiwan experience and the strong on the intelligent prove the technology on the research development. Okay, to the 2020 scale up the collaboration, we built the 10th webinar in the Taiwan and the India, and signed 2 MOU on G-Star, smart green technology, and the eco practice. And now we have a good business model with the India company for the wastewater treatment with the ED4, Running Tiger, and the Surgeon. Okay, we want to build the value chain co-creation together. And we can all advance, integrate the strategic action, and create a better contribution toward the green and the sustained economy. We look forward to work with the NPC, CPC, and the India company to strengthen and the deep cooperation with the Taiwan company. Okay. The Adventure was founded in 1983. Our headquarters is in the Taipei. Our mission is enable intelligent plants. And now we had around 8,000 employees in the worldwide. The almost of the employees located in Taiwan. Last year, our total sales revenue is about $1.76 billion. As we know from the IPC company, we had a variable of customers from the different domain vertical. For instance, we are focused on the industrial IoT, iFactory, and the environment and energy and the smart city. Okay. Okay, this is Advantech AIoT, the business model we are now talking about in Advantech. In the past, we are focused on the phase 1. This is about embedded hardware in order to accelerate the goal of the industrial intelligence of our end customer. Certainly, we start focus on the phase 2, the green line. We provide SRP. SRP means solution-ready package, the hardware and software integrated, and we provide to our customer. In the future, the phase 3, the green line, Advantech would like to be an enable working with a business partner to co-creation, the co-creation, and have a good and have a good business. Okay. This is the next stage of the Advantech business model. First, we can use the voice or wireless device and the embedded platform to collection data. Second, we can provide the vertical application software with the WISE-PaaS AIoT cloud service platform. Third, we work co-creation with a partner and build out the solution-ready package and the hardware and the software integrated and on the AI module. Fourth, we want to enable the domain-focused system integrator to approach the domain vertical and the mega operation and the maintenance business model. We need to realize the share the economy and the cross-domain knowledge collaboration together and to drive the industrial transformation. Okay. In this slide, I want to introduce the wastewater treatment solution for the edge computing and the cloud service. That means the hardware and the software integrated and on the AI module to build the edge computing solution for the wastewater treatment. First, we provide a biological treatment. We provide a PID quality control with the aeration control module, sludge return module, and the nutrition control module. Second, corrosion instrumentation. We support the AI module with the ANN for the dosing control prediction. Third, MBR system. We use a regression model with a prediction the best backwash time, and we can use the advanced wide path cloud service platform to integrate and the visualization for all the function. The benefit is reduce the energy consumption, save medical, and reduce operation cost and improve the wastewater treatment performance. Okay, in this case, we are co-creation with the history, Dr. Liang, and we are focused on the industrial part of wastewater treatment in Taiwan. We provide intelligent wastewater treatment process with the biological A2O process, ecological segmentation, and the MBR system. We use edge device for the advanced hardware and the software to collect data and push data to the WisePath cloud service platform, and use the AI module to improve the wastewater process. This is a total solution for the edge computing and the cloud service platform, and the value add with the operation and the maintenance. Okay, not only in Taiwan, we have accomplished the 4 pilot in the India CETP with a solid foundation of the good cooperation success outcome during the past entire 2 years. We provide MBR, BioNet, and the EDR solution with the Edge Cloud Total Solution for the Running Tech CETP in Chennai. And now we want to cooperation with the local system integrated company in India, just like ED4, CETP, Mekong, and the Surson, to service the end customer and have a good business model. Okay. Okay, this is the end of my presentation. I have a Taiwanese the work. 有路咱沿路唱歌，无路咱撩起过鸟。Start today, let's all join together, keep a step. If there pass, let's follow in, sing along the way. If there's no pass, let's follow the stream, scale the high, and keep moving toward the lighting. Thank you for your listening, and enjoy my talk. And I hope you to build up the co-creation and the ecosystem with you. Thank you again.
Thank you, Mr. Jackie Chang. We really appreciate all the participation in this room. We have 30 high delegations, not only from the government, also from cross sectors of the smart green technology. And in your registration, the envelope, there is one questionnaire. It's our team would appreciate you to write some questions, the comments for today, because soon we are going to advance to proceed for the next session. So you can take some time to fill the question. We can also to invite the speakers today to provide their inputs accordingly. So please find the paper in your envelope. Thank you. And now, I'd like to invite our next speaker, who is for the Enjoy the Good Success in the Smart City Project, Delta Company. Mr. Jim Chen. Delta enjoy the great success, not only in Taiwan, also they're based in India. Also has been deploying significant project collaboration with the government, also the industry. Let's welcome Mr. Jin Chen to conduct his presentation. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for time to inviting Delta to join today's event. I hope all the people attendees from the offline and online are in good conditions, especially in the COVID-19 this period. Okay, before we start, I will have a short introduction about the smart city solution what we are offering to the global market, not only in India. I will have an introduction about the Delta Electronics first to let you have an overview of the Delta Electronics. So Delta Electronics actually is a $9 billion US dollar sales revenue company. So we are leader in switching power supplies and the DC brushless fans. So the following slide, actually you can see that here is our products, which is have a lot of applications. You will be seeing our next slide, where we already implemented our products to the smart city. So coming to the next slide, okay. Everyone is talk about the smart city. What is the smart city? So actually I try to use the macro point of view to introduce about the smart city, and also I try to use the micro point of view to talk about the smart city. Regarding the smart city, for the macro portions, I will introduce about the smart city, municipal management systems. This is with the government. And another one actually is the smart manufacturing. So factory, they also need smart. Smart can improve the productivity of the factory output. This is the based on the macro point of view. For the micro point of view, this is related to our daily life. We are sitting in these buildings. Every day we are travel. So we talk about the building, we talk about the e-mobility. So this is also talk about the smart. The smart city actually is an overview. Okay, moving to the next slide, how and what we have done in India. Okay, using this, this is the actual cases what we have been done in India. So from this slide, you can see that all the display showing here, and also the traffic control systems actually is provided by the Delta. So for those officials who is sitting in this room, they can easily to understand that where is the traffic hotspot? What if there is some traffic issue, accidents? All this information can be published immediately to the outdoor display systems. So another one actually is from here, all the people, they can do the so-called big data collections. So from here, they can know that, okay, what if this area, they have a lot of traffic coming here? That means the population is a lot. Right now, we talk about the COVID-19. So especially that place, it's better we don't go there. So the alarm systems and also the online, you can use your apps to check the traffic current scenario in these smart city solutions. So moving to the next slide. Okay, I think this is also related to our life. So this is one of the case study and success story we had done in Jakarta, Indonesia. So I'm just lead you to see this picture first. Looking at the right-hand side, the bottom side, there is a so-called smart lighting. This smart lighting actually including the air quality sensor, temperature sensor, and water level sensor. So this can be easily to collect the big data from each lighting. So in Jakarta actually is a big city. So there is a lot of different location. They have a lot of sensor. When we put the sensor there, if you have only one lighting, there only one sensor. But if you have 1,000, 10,000 lighting, then there is become a big data. This big data, you can collect this as a, for you to understand that the air quality in Jakarta. And also, especially the bottom side, the water level. You know the Jakarta actually is the flooding every year. So we use this to detect the water level. What if receiving the alarms, we will give the alarm to the control center. So this control center, they will announce to all the citizens in the Jakarta, they have to moving to the safety locations. Coming to the bottom side, actually, we also have a CCD and also the display. So lightning actually is a very simple to our life, but it becomes smart. Then this smart actually not like this. I've just take an example for you to understand. During the rush hour, the lightning will become light. But if they are not the rush hour time, let's say in the midnight, the LED light will adjust automatically. That means the dimming of the light will be reduced. So reduce means what? Power consuming will be less. So this kind of the This kind of the success story, not only in Jakarta, we already also installed to Thailand, Vietnam, Australia, England, and especially in Taiwan, we also have a lot of cities start to implement the smart lighting. So from here, at the top side here, this is a so-called the IoT big data concept. So if you are a government official, you are not necessary to go to check each lighting. You're just sitting in your office, you can understand that, is it workable for that lighting, or is it you need to do the maintenance? So this is one of the case study for the city. So, okay, that is a simple one. So coming to the smart manufacturing, I'm using this as a case study for you to understand. After the post-COVID-19, social distancing is very important. So factory-facing human shortage, how to solve this? So actually, this is the actual cases in our factory. So original, this factory, we have 43 operator working in this factory. But after we implemented the industrial automations, right now in this factory, there are only 5 operators. These 5 operators, they are not doing operation. They are doing the quality check, SQA. So this can help the improve the productivity. And another one, the top side here, this is so-called, I just give you a concept. If you are a plant manager, you have to check the daily output. You have to check the yield. You have to check the power consuming. All this can be visualization. That means all this can be done by online. This is also talk about the smart factory. So this kind of the applications are not limited to the India, to other region, other country. So we already implemented this kind of the concept to the machine tool, footwear, F&B, electronics, packaging, and rubber and plastic. So this is related to the factory. So right now I'm trying to use a micro related to our daily life. Okay, we are sitting in this building. So we rely on this. This is called heat, ventilator, air conditions solutions. So air quality is very important, especially in the COVID-19. How to detect the air quality? I'm using the next slide. So this is a kind of the sensor. In this, we try to develop different type of the sensor in the building. This sensor, they can sensor different type of the material. Let's say we have a sensor for the temperature, CO2, humidity, total voluntary organic compound, PM 2.5. So all this actually, when we setting the alarm, what if the air quality in this building, they're having over the spec, our system will automatically to turn on the HVAC. That means heat, ventilator, air conditions. How to do? I'm just use the following architecture to give you the idea how to do and how we can use this data to do the monitoring. So I think this is too technical, but I just give you the idea from here. So this is so-called the SCADA systems. We try to monitoring all the system operations. The system operation means all this mechanical, they have to, based on this PLC to do the control. So this kind of the idea is difficult to understand. So I use the next slide to give you more easy to understand. Okay, so if you are facility guys, you are trying to understand that, okay, in these buildings, the operation of each system. So from here, this is the water cooling systems, HVAC system, cooling tower, air compressor. All this is related to the buildings. From here, you can easily to understand that from these buildings, the daily output, the daily output. So from here, we try to understand the energy consumption. So from here, this is just give you the hint. there are total 30% of the power saving we have done after we implemented all this automated industry application to these solutions. So this is the last I'm going to share to you. Taiwan actually is a scooter kingdom. So talk about the share economy. So right now we have a lot of so-called share economy. Scooter actually is become very popular topic to be covered in the smart city. So from here you can see that we have different type of the solutions. I'm going to the next slide to give you more detail. So talk about the e-scooter, they should be covered different type. We have talk about the hardware and also the battery, the EV battery swapping systems, and also the infrastructure of the charging station. So here is the idea what we can show you. Actually, from here, Delta, we offer different type of the products from the hardware of the scooter, and also for the 3G and 4G and also Bluetooth, actually is connecting to the cloud and also infrastructure for the battery. So very short times to share, but I'm just going to give you that the summary. Actually, we showing this is the smart, actually Delta, actually we offer the as a systems. We also have our own products, which is showing here to support the smart city. And also we have our teams to support the smart city. So just this, okay, thanks for the times for the sharing. Thank you.
Yeah. We thank Mr. Jen Chen for the inspirational cutting-edge solutions their company offer, and we look forward for more collaboration between Taiwan and India. Now, I'd like to invite India speaker, Mr. Colonel Rohit Dev. He is the Chief Operating Officer from Punjab Renewable Energy System. Let's welcome his presentation to show their dedication and ambition towards a smart city. Thank you.
Thank you for that invited introduction. Please, Ni Hao, Taiwan. And we see how we go forward as two cooperative nations and democratic nations in the years to come. I will keep my presentation very brief because the time slot is only 10 minutes. And so, as you see, there's been a paradigm shift towards urbanization of our country and an effect of globalization which is prevalent throughout the world economies and market. And by 2030, the share of the GDP is so high for our urban development and basically moving towards smarter cities, that there's a lot of scope for investment in the country and also for cooperation. The objective of smart cities, as enunciated by our government and our people, is basically to provide a decent quality of life and keep it sustainable and inclusive for development as a case. Insofar as the three parameters are concerned of retrofit, redevelopment, and also greenfield development, these are given in any smart city development across the spectrum and across the globe. However, the last part, which is the pan-city development, is something which is much peculiar to our country because we have a greater rural to urban divide which needs to get connected. And as we have superhighways and information superhighways coming up, we will have to see that this connect is real and this connect is absolutely dynamic as we go ahead. That brings me to the three short points I would like to convey through my presentation. The first is introduction and the concept which we have in our country. The next is the SWOT analysis of what is happening in the pandemic. That is the topic per se, and some suggested methods and ideations which will be helpful in the future. If you know about our smart cities, 100 cities under the project, a lot of work orders have been issued, little bit about 10 to 12% has been completed, and we have been going through this series of pandemic for the last 7-8 months with a lot of gaps in the development of our projects which are ongoing. Notwithstanding, the government has invested in every smart sphere as possible, whether you take it water, solar, space development, roads, and also command control centers, which are more IoT or coordinated. On the right side, what you see is how smart can anybody get in terms of a city. And those circles tell us where is the scope of smartness to come in the Indian rural sector as well as the Indian urban sector. And that is where we need to focus in technologies, in cooperation, in investments, and try and see these operational components are met. What you see on the left side is a vision. It's my personal vision since we are developing a close connect with the life of our people. So I've coined this term as life. And first is it should be a livable, safe and convenient environment as we grow into a smart city. It should be inclusive. It should be futuristic and vibrant to be able to incorporate newer technologies and newer concepts. And edutainment, economic prosperity, and has to be 100% environment friendly because we owe much to the future generations insofar as environment and health is concerned. A brief SWOT analysis, which I will now conduct only for the pandemic, and that's our Prime Minister and Minister of State there. The strengths which we have during a pandemic. Now, if you see the workforce, we have a lot of manpower in our country to execute projects, and we have a leading dimension of skill sets which is coming through various forums, including ITIs and other subsets at the state level, at the district level, and also at the national level. There was enough time in the last 8-9 months till we opened up the lockdown and for planning and execution. So I'm quite sure that this period has been taken cognizance of, and we have planned the implementation of our projects much well. Availability of sites, public spaces, due to reduced traffic and reduced occupancies of public spaces is one more strength which we have during the pandemic. And the digital connect, right from this webinar which we are attending right now or this conference, to whatever has happened in our education system, schools, offices, work from home. So we have seen that these are the 4 derived strengths in a pandemic, which any smart country needs to capitalize on as we go ahead into the smart city realm. The weaknesses, however, remain. There are health risks. There is reduced mobility of people and material. Weather has played a different role during the monsoons in India, which has got extended. Simple things like land processing, documentation is taking more time because people are not coming to offices, the files are there, and we are still to adapt to a system in which the e-clearances can be given in a much more convenient manner. There is a lot of difference in responses of people in the same household, in the same community, same village. Everybody has got a different threshold level of taking risk during a pandemic, and that impinges on any development of a smart city as well. And last but not the least are the compliances and the lack of research and development. If you go on to the opportunities, now these are the 8-9 opportunity arenas which we have identified, where you can work extensively even during the pandemic to create future smartness in your systems, whether it's information technology, education, like people have adapted like no other time in our country as well. And at all strata of education, whether it's higher education or school education, we have gone ahead. Means of communication, both surface communication like superhighways, info communication, laying of cables and lines has happened. Tourism is someplace because of a shutdown and a meltdown there, ample opportunity to actually, if not revive, but build up on smart concepts in tourism, right from transportation to accommodation to sites, to visit sites, to basically sightseeing, could have been done in this period to make sure that once you come out of the pandemic, there is a different kind of a boost given to the tourism industry. Agriculture is something which could have continued and is continuing because the rural sector is not that much affected by the pandemic currently. Healthcare systems, infotainment, and infrastructure development for an energy transition is something which is an opportunity during a pandemic. The threats again remain as a sluggish processes, clearances required. There has been a domestic investment crunch all throughout because of reduced ROI, but that has not deterred the world organizations. In fact, we have heard World Bank, Google, and everybody else trying to invest in smart solutions in India. So it's a big, huge market potential which beacons everybody. However, the domestic threat remains in terms of investments. There have been a lot of unfinished works and lack of payments which have inhibited people to invest and also go ahead during this pandemic. And the last but not the least is the lack of B2B. Cost of borrowing is high in the sector and lack of synergy, which is not letting sustainability factor come up to the degree which we would like to envisage. There are a lot of convergence agendas. If you are from Taiwan or any country trying to invest in the smart city concept, if you see what is in the green, Amrut, Swachh Bharat Mission, financing schemes for development, PPP partnerships, these all have a leverage to have the smart city being focused upon and given a due impetus insofar as our country is concerned. So a lot of convergence ideas you find in a lot of government policies and implementation techniques. You must have seen the news, there was that Indian smart cities or cities are globally in the index very low, and we are not prepared for the pandemic. Nobody was prepared. So obviously with the population and size like us, it takes time to rev up that kind of a contingency. But however, on 2nd October, Mahatma Gandhi's birthday, we heard a good news that even a small city like Srinagar is continuing with its endeavor to develop itself into a smart city in a small manner. So there are challenges, but there is a lot of vision and energy in people to carry this concept ahead. This is the last slide which I want to just ideate upon. And if you see as a concept, anybody who's coming to India to invest in smart city solutions or provide any conceptual changes or technology has to work upon a pan-city kind of an environment and be able to connect the rural part of our country, because our country is an agrarian country. People have to stay there in the fields to make sure the farming community thrives. So obviously any solution which you offer or any connectivity which you offer has to link the rural and urban sector in such a manner that the rural population does not migrate towards the cities. That is also an aim which we have to see with the population of 1.3 billion. Then components of the smart city, whether it is future enablers or the research and development part, have to be thought through now. So we need to develop between the two countries more synergy in those two spheres. And like Jim Chen conversed about 4 or 5 solutions which this company is providing, I'm quite sure these are small beacons which need to be picked up, and we need to develop further synergies as we go ahead. Enhancements to existing status of my country per se is the key. You cannot change buildings and roads overnight, but what you can do and concentrate upon is enhancements, solutions, visibility, smartphones. How can you, imbibe 4G and convert things? How can you transship the same technology down to the rural sector? Smart city innovations are very important, and under Mission Innovation India, I'm quite sure we can develop more synergies with our country to cooperate on this aspect and develop more innovative ideas. So you have to have forums in which you are not people only who are technically qualified, but people who can envision a city, can envision the future, can envision technologies, concepts, and ideate. That is very important to come together as a think tank of two countries and first have these innovating ideations going through. Convergence agendas, like I mentioned in the previous slide, is something which the government agencies of both the countries, G2G kind of a partnership, will go a long way to get these ideas into a common place, because every facet which I mentioned in that slide is through a different ministry in India. So there has to be some concerted interministerial kind of a framework which has to be drawn. An amalgamation of technologies. You may have a technology in the HVAC region, you may have roads region or IT region, but the commonality of the IT platform in the future has to be one. So you must have a platform in the IT sector which is developed to take on different technologies and concepts and be able to put it across on a common platform as far as possible. I mentioned the interministerial synergy, both within our country and post that between our country and a cooperating nation like Taiwan to develop this synergy, imbibe and also adapt. Adaptation is the key to smart city development and people to understand. And last but not the least is policy enunciations and also ease of doing business. Herein I would like to say that whatever are the best practices of the world, which Taiwan has probably imbibed earlier than us in most cases, those could be shared on a G2G basis for our government also to jointly come up with policy enunciations so that we can make it more comfortable to invest, bring technologies, get FDI, get manufacturing into the country. And more you concentrate as a country to invest and manufacture in India, the easier it will be for a joint cooperative manner in which you can develop smart cities and rural belt in my country. So that was the short point, and I would just want to say towards the end, there are ample opportunities of Indo-Taiwan cooperation. We share common ideology, democratic framework, and India is the world market which has had a surge. And post-COVID, you will find a lot of migration of manufacturing and service sector, and that includes the technology part and also the investment part and the development part of the industry coming to India in the sector of smart city as well. So with a small hope there, I wish that the Indo-Taiwan platform which we have created today becomes a harbinger for further growth and cooperation between the two countries as we go ahead and cooperate in many, many other spheres as well, because India will be the leading market of the world. And Taiwan, if it is supporting and cooperating as a nation with our country, will be a very mutually beneficial kind of a growth together. So with that, I would just say that let's be together, let's concentrate on our ideologies, let's concentrate on our Atmanirbhar Bharat, and let's get more to do in India in a cooperative model, and that will be the best thing to happen. So from our side, Jai Hind from India. Thank you very much.
Yes, we thank you for your thought-provoking presentations. There is always to start with good intention, with your expertise and your dedication, that we can hand in hand working together towards the sustainable innovation development, also to address the challenges of this COVID-19 pandemic. Let's now proceed for the QA session. I'd like to invite Mr. Bhardwaj, the Regional Director of India National Productivity Council, to be the moderator for this QA session. Let's welcome Mr. Bhardwaj. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lekwan Lee. I think we had some very interesting presentations from both sides. So I really appreciate all the speakers for sharing their experiences and knowledgeful presentations. We are already running out of time because I think it's all delayed. We are behind schedule, but we can take a few questions. So now its platform is open for questions. If anybody has question, I think you can just raise now, either from India side or Taiwan side. Any questions? Or everybody understood everything? If no questions, then I will ask questions. That's what I'm telling you. Please ask questions better now. All right, so let me ask question here too from Indian speakers. Just quickly, I don't see any questions in the Q&A chat also. I don't see any questions here. They are okay. So there is one perception. I think any speaker from India side can address this. There is one perception that technologies, when we procure from abroad, especially Taiwan or Japan or Korea like that, they consider them as expensive. So what is the perception here from our India side, that Taiwanese technologies are cost effective compared to other countries, or they are expensive? I mean, anyone from India can speak, those who know about this topic. Thank you.
If I may just put a small word, Mr. Bhardwaj, there, with your permission. See, any technology which is niche in nature and which has got a concept of growth of the technology in the future will come at a premium initially. It is true for all technologies, whether it's smart city or defense. But the scales of application for the technology, and especially in a country like India, where you count the number of households, number of, if you see the lightning smart city concept, you will find that the scope is so tremendous. When you build the scales, the cost per capita or per project will slowly come down. And the other way, which I would like to recommend to our partnership through FICCI, should be able to get manufacturing into our country thereafter. Because one of the major components of manufacturing, besides the material and R&D, is manpower and also the material itself, what you're using to manufacture. And in India, there is enough possibility to get these two costs down. So it only remains that what is the R&D part of the technology which has to be paid for. And when you build up and come to India and scale up in India, not only do you set examples for a global fora, but from India, the exports to the next destination of Africa and other states is much more viable. So that has to be our thought process, that we should be able to press home a point that manufacturing must come to India in some scale and get the cost down to the scales of our operations.
Thank you so much for your reply. Maybe Mr. Emmanuel Varghese, if you can add something, if you have some input on this. Varghese?
Yeah. Actually, you are right, Bhardwaj. Many of the technologies are perceived to be costlier, but the truth is the reverse. In many cases, what happens, the locally procured or manufactured solutions tends to be costlier than many of the technologies or components we import from others. So the pilot plants which we have implemented is a case in point. So I think with the collaboration which we are planning, this is going to be beneficial for both as a win-win situation for both the countries. Thank you.
Thank you, Varghese. So, Ms. Mukwan, the point was raised here that if manufacturing base can be shifted to India, of course, there are many Taiwanese technologies which may be affordable, acceptable in India, green technology especially. But if Taiwanese companies can partner with not only supplying technologies, but partner with the Indian companies to start manufacturing some of the technologies right here, developing here. So what is the response from Taiwan side in this regard? Ms. Li Kuan, you can ask from Taiwan side to respond to this.
Okay. Okay, so please allow me to ask our delegation in this room. May I invite 有没有谁要回答他的问题？他说希望能。
Anybody want to answer this question? Because as we know, the business opportunity is huge. So there's a good opportunity to partner with Indian manufacturers. Maybe we will have one of our Simpla, the representative from Simpla, who has signed the MOU today. He also partnered with Sturson Technology. Mr. Ye, you can speak in Mandarin. We have interpreters to translate for you.
Now we'd like to invite the chairman of Simpla, who has been supporting this APO mission to collaborate with India. We congratulate the MOU signing to echo the advocacy of MPC India government to meet up the plastic challenge, how to stop the plastic leakage to the ocean. So we wanted to invite our industry leader to echo the advocacy in India. So let's welcome Mr. Ye to share his dedication, how he has been partner with India.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ye Mingsheng from Simpla. The company is a green industry. It is a circular economy industry. Because I'm in the material business, firstly, we try to minimize pollution, especially the pollution to the ocean. Another issue is climate change. For these two areas, we have adopted biomaterial or so-called plant-based material. It can be divided into 4 major categories. And Simpla have products in all these 4 categories because the materials requires different technology which are able to customize for the demand of different countries, different market segments. Starting from next year, EU and mainland China or some of the states in the United States start to abandon the single-use plastic materials. There are some large enterprises are also encouraging the use of bio material. Although it sounds simple, however, the coverage is huge. We can start from our daily life, or we can start from agriculture. And in our daily lives, whether for families or business, we can all try to encourage these practices. In terms of the recycling mechanism is also included. And the recycling can also be categorized into different categories. We can use it, we can recycle the material, we can use it as composite, or we can also sanitize these materials. and the purposes are all different. Our ultimate goal is to apply these practices to every family. And as other presenters have mentioned, we have partnered with Advantech or Delta and other companies. And we will also minimize the use of our labor forces. For the second stage, we are planning to reduce the manpower on our production line to 40 operators. And we've been selling our products to numerous countries around the world. We've been working hard for more than 20 years, and now we're seeing the fruit of our efforts in terms of our R&D, technology, labor forces. We all emphasize on the cost control, because for environmental friendly products, cost is a very significant issue. Now we are able to make our products more competitive and really meet the demand of the current environment. Starting from next year, Taiwan will start to allow or trade the carbon rights, which will bring additional income or revenue for the company. And because we've been in the business for a long time, my apology, I do not have any PowerPoint presentations to share. Now, we are able to facilitate the partnership with India. And we really hope to strengthen our partnership with our Indian counterparts. And this partnership has just the beginning. We really urge our Indian partners, our counterparts, to provide us with more support and encouragement. Thank you.
Mr. Ye, leading his team to echo the advocacy of India government and collaborate with India, not only for the trading. As I know, their company has been starting the business-to-business collaboration with certain technology. Also, for today, this earlier session for the MOU, we look forward to collaborate under the leadership of India government and industry leaders, hand in hand, to reach not only the business model, also for the greater success for social economic growth. And now, in conclude, because time is running late, so in conclusion, I'd like to invite Mr. K.T. Bharadwaj to conclude, to deliver the closing remarks. Thank you. Mr. K.T., please.
Thank you so much, Ms. Likwani. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all the support we have been receiving from Taiwan side, all the government agencies, CPC, COEGP, APO, and all the counterparts in India. Thank you so much for being with us today. We had an interesting discussion. Discussions are always interesting generally, but we have to take it forward. And I see a lot of passion and enthusiasm from Taiwan side. And I am sure our Indian counterparts also will show similar interest, similar enthusiasm with regard to sustainable development with the help of green technologies, and the best practices we can learn from Taiwan. So I once again thank all of you and for joining this webinar, this web-based discussions. And I am sure this interaction will continue. National Productivity Council is the contact point with regard to any Taiwanese company you want to collaborate. We can directly link it with them through China Productivity Center. And similarly from Taiwan side, I am sure CPC is helpful there. So we are your contact points. Definitely please revert back to us whenever you have any questions or any requirement. We will be very happy to serve you. And I once again thank all the Taiwanese companies, Taiwanese counterpart, government, and CPC, and of course FICCI from India, from FICCI side, and also all the stakeholders from India. Thank you so much for joining this webinar and sharing your inputs. Once again, I thank you all. Thank you so much.
Yes, we thank you, our counterpart in India. It requires the public and private sector for this success. 已经断掉了哈，是吗？还是还在 Okay, good. So it requires both sides, for the public and private sector, to dedicate reaching the success for the people and the planet. Now, in the very end, closing, we appreciate the leadership from our government. Let's welcome Dr. Liang Dongchen to conclude and say some words. Thank you.
May I speak in Chinese? Okay.
Dr. Chen, nice to see you after a long, long time. Your smiling face I have been missing all the time. Thank
Long
you so
time
much
not
for
to
doing
see you.
this. Thank you so much, sir. I am so happy to see you.
Yeah. So, 非常感谢印度在这段。
We'd like to thank India for the close partnership and collaboration with Taiwanese companies. In terms of green technology, we've been pursuing progress, starting from wastewater management and processing. In the past, we have to pay someone to process the wastewater, but now we're able to reap profits from the process of wastewater management. We're able to generate power, and there are a lot of efforts that's been devoted to the reuse, recycle of certain materials. As in Taiwan, we are promoting circular economy so that we're able to make the best use or to maximize the values of the waste. We're able to reap profits from the process of waste management. We have a lot of successful cases in Taiwan that we are able to share with our Indian counterparts. For example, we have recycled a lot of plastic waste. And if we're able to promote these ideas to India, I believe it will be very helpful to the local industry. In Taiwan, we also mentioned we use biomass material as the replacement for plastics. We have also a lot of ICT technologies. We're able to use ICT to control or manage the biomass power generation facilities. And all these ideas could be introduced to our counterparts in India. And also the challenges brought by climate change, all these need to be supported by circular economy. In the future, we will pursue the goal of zero carbon emission, and circular economy will contribute 45% of that. These technologies we are developing right now, and some are already in mature stage. And we are more than happy to share these ideas and experiences with India to make this planet a better place for everyone. Last but not least, I'd like to thank you for your participation. And last but not least, I would like to wish you all prosperity and good health. Thank you very much.
For all of your participation in not only the VIP, also on the YouTube and also in this room, we said that today is not the closing of this forum. This we say this is an important milestone to a new start, to combat all the challenges, to the climate, also the anti-pandemic challenges. So in closing, I really thank you and I wish you every success and stay healthy. Although this year we cannot go to India, conduct our mission, and then we are not very used to this webinar. We hope you enjoy today's sort of provoking presentations, and more important, we are always here available in, although Taiwan is small, we are always ready to participate in your growth. Let's join hand in hand and say, in conclusion, say goodbye and wish you all the every best. And let's meet up very quickly, very soon for a greater success and continuing collaboration. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Our India esteemed leaders. Thank you. And thank you for participating online. Okay, thank you. 谢谢大家哈，辛苦了，因为这个也是我们第一场的那个叫做。
Well, thank you very much for your participation. Of course, this is one of our very first web seminars. And of course, it has been a long day. But we will have another session, but it'll be